Good evening. Good evening. Uh, this is Fresh Dawson, aka Fresh Light of the Blackbird Gang. Today I'm gonna briefly discuss while storming. Um, briefly discuss the latest top 10 polls that left Lamar Jackson out of the list of top quarterbacks for 2022. Um, I first want to say to the ones who are going to see this or that's going to tune in, thanks. Please leave your comments, thoughts, concerns all throughout the screen and the video once this replayed. Um, First and foremost, I've Horse Taurus, get well, my guy. He's been in the hospital dealing with some things he need to deal with. Um, hope hope he come back. Speedy recovery. All right, let's get to it. It's getting to the point where there is a obvious bias, where it's been an obvious bias, but now it's just now they just don't care. All right. So ask you this question. Most of the analysts said Lamar is between the 5 and 10 tier, especially former football players. I debate top 5 because you can't name 7 people that has the impact in the game that he does. And when I mean impact, I mean being able to put their team on their back, taking what most will say is subpar and winning, let alone being atop of AFC until he got injured himself, dropping back in the pocket. He's the safest running forward, not backwards. But that's a different story. Russell Wilson, he has ability to carry a team on his back, but not as in the last 5 years, no. Um, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, in a sense. He'll take them, he'll win a bunch of games in regular season, but then in the last few years, he didn't have to get too far. It got the the NFC championship and lost. I mean, they could have won that, but they got him some help. He had Devontae Adams. That saved him a lot of time and energy, a lot of strife. Um, because they would look for his replacement. All of a sudden, he had these back-to-back MVP years because they put some heat on him. Everybody said Josh Allen in the top 3. Josh Allen, I'm gonna say this every day till you get the point. Josh Allen is just a white version of Cam Newton. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and I'm not being prejudiced. It's just what it is. Because you cannot name anything that Josh Allen has done that Cam Newton hasn't already done. It looks exactly the same. Big arm, running through tackles. Okay? Where was that before Stephon Diggs? You mean one season he get to recorded QB coach and all of a sudden he's superstar? Well, where's his MVP at? He had 2 years to do it and show what he has, and it didn't look good until they got Stephon Diggs. Now, to the Bills' credit, they invested in quality pieces on the outside around him, something the Ravens haven't done with Lamar. And that's not their MO though. The money goes through running backs and defense. Everybody knows that. That's just Baltimore's a hard nosed team. All right. You got Josh Allen. He can't do it by himself. Give Lamar Stephon Diggs and see what happens. Let alone who else he had on the Bills. Well, let's give him Stephon Diggs and see what happens. All right. Emmanuel Sanders, yeah, give him both of them and see what happens. Boom. All right. Give Patrick Mahomes what Lamar had and see how well they do. I doubt it. Other than throwing to the tight ends, Mark Andrews, yeah, but other than that, I doubt it. 'Cause Tyreek is a different type of animal. He bailed Patrick Mahomes out of a lot of situations, and Patrick Mahomes a baller, but he bailed him out of a hole. We're going to see this year what these players really have, because NFL is getting like the NBA now. It's going to be a lot of movement. Okay, um, all right, and Lamar performed better than Russell Wilson in the last few years. All right, Deshaun Watson shouldn't even be on this list. He hasn't played in 2 years, and in 2 times him and Lamar been face to face in the NFL, Lamar spanked his team twice, outperforming both games. Okay, that yeah, 2 years ago, Deshaun Watson had 5,000 yards passing, almost 5,000 yards passing, but the record was 4-12. That means they was behind in a whole lot of games. So he had to throw himself to give him a fighting chance. All right. Dak Prescott, that's good, but Dak is one of those players like Dan Oversky, wherever you say his name. They win because of, well, not because of, they win in spite of having them. Like he wins and he helps them win, but he's not the everything of why they win. And mind you, he should have the #1 offense. Before they got rid of Monty Cooper, they had him and CC Lamb, and then they just had some balls. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I'm not getting into all of what the receivers they had. Everybody know what kind of receivers they have. They got some ballers. And you barely win the East, the NFC East. When it was right for the taking, you could have just ran. There's no reason why the Cowboys should have lost any games in their division. There's no reason, none whatsoever, none. And you're not going to convince me. I don't care. It's a robbery. I don't care. All right. So you got that. Herbert hasn't made playoffs. All right. Take him out there. Ravens just did a blitz on him. He folded like a pretzel. Now you get Tom Brady because everybody they're gonna give Tom Brady. Tom Brady's never gonna fail because they're gonna give him a line. They're gonna give him the best players possible. So at least the line, they're gonna give him the best line. He's not gonna touch much. I'm just going through some of those players. Some of those players, Burrow, we're gonna see this year. But Burrow is good, is very good, but he's not the best second coming of Boomer Esiason either. He's not. He can't throw a back shoulder fade to save his life. I keep telling you people that. You don't listen. Or that they would win the Super Bowl by 3 touchdowns. You made a lot of, you know, but he has stud. He has stud receivers. On Cincinnati always drafted stud receivers. So that's not act like Cincinnati never had stud receivers. They just didn't have. And then they had defenses a lot of those years too. They had incompetent coaching and they didn't have the pieces to put together. So when people make these assumptions and all this other stuff and give their opinions, it's basically if you go down the line, I'm gonna go as a psychological thing they trying to do. Okay, they quick to say black quarterback, but look at the hue. The higher the rank, the lighter the hue. The darker the hue, the lower the rank. Okay, I'm educated. That's how the media dictate your mind. Okay, what's acceptable, what's not, and really not that much to skin tone. It's just like who Lamar is. Lamar is straight South Florida, talented brother made it out the hood. So you know why they so hard on him and oh yeah he does all this, but okay, he only can run, he can't throw, which that's just cap all day long. Because look at all the QBs that could have been in Lamar's shoes. Not Lamar, he's unique, he's a unicorn. But they did that. They battered down Vince Young. From Vince Young, and I wouldn't have personally did it to you know what, we're not even gonna talk about that. We just said like a lot of these kids coming up the AAU, they just putting the best athlete out there and teach them how to throw the football, and then they score. They soar. It's no longer the least talented player or the tallest player being quarterback. The athletic, because if things break down, they can create their own space to advance the ball. That's what it's all about. The quarterbacks there is first line defense to advance the ball. So when they getting all this, well, we need protection of pass. No, the objective is to get the closest to the field to the goal as possible to score. All right, you have that, but let's talk about Jamie Fowler. They came up with this list. Jamie Fowler is a known cap artist. He's a big liar. They caught him lying a couple times in the last 3 months on Lamar and his situation and other players in the NFL. Specifically Lamar. Oh, they got him figured out. Yeah. No, sir. That line was just a turnstile. It was a paper mache line. No, yeah. You can figure players out, but then eventually they'll come up with some more stuff. You know what it is it's to the point that as Lamar succeeds, especially with this contract, he does everything. He don't need them for anything. So they're mad they don't get their access and they can't shake his people that's in his corner. They need to stop this stuff. It's going on too long. They need to stop it. I don't know how, but they need to stop it. But it has to be players and other folks that's around the league and in the media that need to stop it. Because he even gets flack for his own media. And okay, I'm gonna ask you this: if you trade Lamar today and tomorrow, who you gonna get that's gonna make you win? You just said for the next 5 to 7 years, we don't care about winning the North. We don't care about competing, because that's what you're gonna do. You get rid of him, huh? He go to my. I guarantee you, they will win the AFC East each and every year. Because that would be a problem. Him in Miami with all that speed and that defense, that will be a problem. Okay, I implore you to do this: drop Joe Burrow and the Ravens offense, see what happens. Drop Patrick Mahomes with the Ravens offense and see what happens. Drop Aaron Rodgers and Ray. Oh, see what happened. Russell Wilson, see what happened. Hmm? Drop some of these players in the Ray offense and have them try to make something out of nothing with that and see what happened. You see what happened when Deshaun didn't even have DeAndre Hopkins. You saw what happened. Hmm? He was on top of the world with D Hop. D Hop left. It's just one receiver, dog. But that one receiver changed how teams play you and game plan for you. Stephon Diggs went to the Bills, turned them to a wild card at best and to a playoff contender. Let's stop. Let's stop it. It's getting going too far now. It's obvious that people he must have him himself must have ticked a lot of people off for them to be doing that, and that's wrong. Cause that kid don't deserve that. That's a good kid. He can't even post pictures from his favorite one of his favorite movies. Well, people say, "Oh, he want the money." Trust me, he could have signed yesterday if he really wanted to. He wants to bet on himself, and that's cool. Or maybe he just want to do his stuff. You don't know what that man got going on. He's not going to tell you. He has been a person to put his stuff on and stuff on Jump Street. So we need to stop this. But Jeremy Fowler is a liar. All right. And then let's stop saying that okay, the Ravens made the whole offense to fit his skill set. No. They made offense to if they did that fit his skill set, they would got some speedy receivers other than Hollywood Brown. They would have drafted A.J. Brown. They would have drafted DK Metcalf. Because guess what? They bigger and they're fast. Lamar isn't the tallest quarterback in the world, but he's not short. He's not Kyler Murray. 6'2". What's this? 6'2", whatever. 6'2", 6'3", whatever, right? So you give him a bigger 6'4", 6'5" receiver because he could scramble and just throw it up. And not only will be 50-50 balls, but he can just scramble and throw it up. He can get the corners off, make the corners get off balance, and those players can go out and get it. Dog. So that's what they should have got. Somebody tall, a tall quarterback would do good with a shorter receiver because they could see more of the field, and all they could do is chuck it up and just go routes all day long. See where the balance goes? Bigger quarterback, smaller receiver. Smaller quarterback, bigger receiver. You just help their catch radius. That's all. You know what I mean? What other players is asked to do as much as Lamar? Only thing he's not doing is playing defense, special teams, and playing wide receiver. He's running the ball. He got to throw it. But I don't have to get 500 yards a game, 400 yards a game when I could easily get 80 yards, 75, 100 yards rushing. So let's say he threw for 250 and got another 80 off the ground. That's because, all right, you got receivers covered. All right, I'm gonna get this first down. I could run tiptoe. You're not faster than me, so I'm gonna go out here and get these 10 yards. 9 out of 10 times, if Lamar wants to run and really get those 10 yards, he can get those 10 yards. The only thing about it is he hesitate. It gives the defense enough time to seal off the edges or catch up to him. But if he get the ball and immediately wants to run, he can get 10 yards every single time. But do you want to get touched every single time? No. He's a quarterback. Okay. At least Lamar will hand it off at the goal line a lot of the times to his running backs before taking it himself, give them a chance first. Josh Allen, he get to the 5 yard line, he's gonna try running in, running bootleg and running in. And who that reminds you of? Cam Newton. It's Cam Newton. That's what it is. They're around same height, same build. It's Cam Newton. It's their one to say, hey, we got that guy now. We have that guy. But it's Cam Newton. I always did like Josh Allen's game. But to say that no, he's not. No, no. Got bad flaws in the game. He's not accurate. He's accurate now because he got Stephon Diggs. He make everything go. He made Stephon Diggs made Kirk Cousins. The reason why Kirk Cousins can get all this guaranteed money since Stephon Diggs bailed him out. And then he had Justin Jefferson running the ball. Come on, what we doing? No, just a receiver. He had these guys. Come on now, don't be like that. Cause okay, fit Lamar's skill set. What's his skill set? Because they didn't run this type of offense in Louisville. They run the offense like what Kyle Miller running in Arizona. Scramble, run it. You have to, but first priority, let that thing fly. That's what he did. He could took now 2 years. He got 9,000 yards passing. 2 years starting. Well, the whole time because he played a few games his freshman year, but he got 9,000 yards passing in college. No, that's a lazy take. Excuse me, that's a lazy take because he didn't play like that in college. He didn't play that type of offense in college. Ravens made him, and he run the ball a lot because that's what they designed him to do. It's not like he said, "Well, I'm gonna run." No, that's what the running do. So the Ravens can't bring that up at the negotiation table. Well, you take a lot of hits because they allow him to take a lot of hits. They ask him to run those plays that make him successful at taking a lot of hits. But he doesn't take the big shots. He would get pushed, shoestring tackle, or whatever. Football is violent. You're going to get hit. It's 100% collision rate. So you're going to get hit. You're going to get touched. That's just the nature. It's a violent game. You know what I mean? They got to stop. The cat got to stop. And it's never going to, but I'm going to say it has to stop. No one can give you answers. He's one of the top deadliest players in the NFL, but he's not in your top five, top 10. That doesn't make sense. Y'all act like the cramp game in Cleveland didn't happen. Y'all didn't like the Colts game didn't happen. You act like that last Kansas City game didn't happen. You act like the Denver game didn't happen. It would have been the Detroit game if Hollywood had dropped 3, 4 touchdowns. He would have had probably 400 yards, 500 yards passing in that game. All right, get Lamar somebody that can take a 8 yard slant and turn it into a home run touchdown. Then you tell me what's the problem. You said what you want. New Ravens fans, we're gonna defend Lamar. And God does nothing wrong. All right. He's happy to be there, and it's not fair. Now, and when he mess up in the games, every average fan of any team will snap or say, "Dang, you should have, what he should have, could have did." But when you cool down, step back, Lamar's the best thing that happened to the Ravens in a long, 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 long time. Okay, all said and done, Mount Rushmore is only going to have two offensive players. Like, I'm not talking about very good players or whatever. Not even Hall of Fame, bro. Andrew's going Hall of Fame. You might as well just write it now. 2 more years of this production, he's going Hall of Fame. We're going to get that out of there, right? Lamar Jackson and Justin Tucker will be the two that's going to go in the Mount Rushmore Ravens. He might get a statue in front of Raven Stadium if we retire Raven. He's going to get a statue out in the front. You know what I mean? He's that impactful. Unanimous MVP in his second year. Unanimous MVP. Second to Tom Brady. Took Tom Brady 7 years to get that. No? 8 to 11? 12 years to get that. He did in his second year. We're going to go back because don't act like COVID didn't affect these players. So you can't really count 20, put a whole lot, it counts because they played the games. But you can't put a lot of stock into 2020 because some people need crowd participation that amp them up to play, especially when you used to hundreds of thousands of people there, and then all of a sudden it's quiet. And if you play sports, it's a difference as far as you trying your hardest when there's two people there versus 200 because your adrenaline rush because you got to go and perform. It's hard to perform when you got empty stadium. Some people could do it, some people can't. Can't count 2020. 2020 is one of those weird years. It was just weird. So you can't count it. Then 2021, he got injured, the whole team got injured. You can't count it. And even that before he got injured, 8-4. You Miami game, okay. All right. Let's say, all right. He was trash that game. I haven't seen a quarterback that hasn't had a trash game. Matt Ryan had a lot of trash games, and Matt Ryan's good. Tom Brady had a lot of trash games, and that's the GOAT. So y'all say Peyton Manning had trash games a lot. Brett Favre had plenty of trash games, but it's Brett freaking Favre. Russell Wilson had a trash game. Was Russell Wilson? All the players had trash games. That doesn't mean that they're not special. This dude is only like 7 months of being, 6 months of being 25. Okay, he's still a baby. There's a lot of quarterbacks that came in the league at 24, 25. And they didn't really start coming their own until they was like 29 or 30 years old. So we got to stop this, man. We got to stop this. Well, the Ravens gotta give them some help. But I also think if they wasn't gonna get DK Metcalf or Scary Terry, you keep what you have and develop. You got some guys there that could develop receivers now. Get them on the right path and see what we have. Lamar doesn't need an all-pro receiver. He just needs somebody that when it's time to throw outside, that they're gonna catch the ball because he can elevate other players. He has that it factor. You just got to catch the ball, man. Just got to catch the ball. I think we may have that. Get your veteran in, to help out, get that extra But at this point, man, look, we're gonna roll with that. They was 8-3 last year with a depleted team before he got injured. So you mean tell me before they won't stand a chance, yo. But I'm gonna end this. I want to see what you guys' thoughts is. So like and share this video if you like it. This is like my second time doing a live stream, so I only could get better. You only could go up from here. So congratulators, welcome. Haters, be my motivators. You have a good night.